All right, you guys, we are 88 days out from 2023 Mr. Olympia, just under 13 weeks out. It is Tuesday. This is my second day of cardio. I'm not gonna lie, I've been actually really excited to get back on my cardio regimen, jump full into prep, and actually start the shredding process. Since I got back from Turkey at the end of April, I have been on my pre-prep, building my metabolism up, getting myself back in shape, packing on as much size as possible leading into this Olympia. So the past 10 weeks, I haven't been doing any cardio, kind of trying to preserve my calories, hold my weight as much as possible. So now that the cardio is finally here, we're gonna start shredding down. The food will start backing down slowly, week by week. For me, you guys, cardio is in the morning. I enjoy because it gives me an opportunity to set my day off on a positive note. I'm able to come in here, clear my mind, think about what's ahead for my day, think about my goals. I'm also able to spend some time with God in the morning and watch some services or read some devotionals. If you guys have noticed the past year, I've transformed a lot, and I attribute a lot of that to my relationship with God and what He's been able to do for me and the way He's been able to rebuild me from the inside out. I went through a lot of tough times, as I've talked about in the past, especially during COVID and coming out of COVID, right around the time my daughter was born in early 2021. I was going through some really dark depression. I was turning to every other source for relief or comfort besides God, and what that ended up doing is it pulled me further and further away from Him, leading me into a darker and darker hole where I was just left miserable. And it wasn't until I was pretty much brought down to my knees where I wasn't able to move forward on my own anymore, where I had to basically get to a point where I had to completely surrender myself to God again in order to allow Him to rebuild me. And what He's been able to do in my life has been pretty miraculous, and it's just showing me that when you allow God to lead you and you're following His path, everything that He sets up before you, maybe not in your eyes may seem good or bad, but it ultimately works out. Looking back now, seeing how God's been working my life, I wouldn't trade any of those moments for anything. I wouldn't take back any of the tough times, because it's put me in this position where I'm at, which is a very good point in my life. So despite going through those things, God used them in a way to build me up into a better person. At the end of the 13 weeks, I'm gonna gain a lot more from this experience than just stepping on stage. I know God's got something else planned for me, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what He shows me during this prep. I'm excited that He's given me an opportunity to share this prep with you guys, hopefully motivate and inspire some of you guys to push forward to get better, because I know a lot of people are dealing with tough things in their life. They're going through struggles and they don't see a light at the end of the road, and I was there, and it's a really terrible place to be. And I have so much empathy for people that are going through depression or have been beating themselves up, that aren't able to forgive themselves for things they've done in the past, and it just sits at the forefront of their mind all day long. And it weighs on them, and it hinders them from doing the things that they want to do. It hinders them from being successful. It hinders them in relationships. It hinders them from loving themselves. And it's an awful way to live. And just want you guys all know that I've been there. And through the grace of God, He's been able to pull me out of that hole, and He's been able to lift me to higher heights. And He can do the same thing for you guys. It's the moment I come back to God and ask for His help, He immediately elevates me and He pushes me forward. And all of a sudden, the pain doesn't feel as bad. My mindset starts shifting. I start thinking positive. I start understanding that there's a bigger plan ahead that I won't understand, but I got to keep pushing forward, because I know at the end of it, it's good. I'm excited to show you guys that can be done. Even when you've been beaten down, even when you've been forgotten, you can come back and be better. All right, 30 minutes of cardio done. Time to get some breakfast anyways. It's like 7:50 right now. I'd like to try and get my meal in a little bit earlier, but we are filming today, so a little bit later of a start. My coach actually dropped the food on me, which was kind of a shock yesterday, because I was eating my old meal plan. Thought we just could add in cardio, and then I get my first meal in and I look at my diet and he changed it on me. So So I actually experienced hunger for the first time yesterday in like, I don't know, 10 weeks. Let's see if we changed my breakfast or not. In the last video we did, I was at 5,400 calories around. Yeah, we're down to 3,800 right now. I think I'm gonna lose a little too quickly on this. I'll probably up my food on me in the next few days after I check in with them. But yeah, see, my breakfast is like about 45 grams less than carbs. I'm not gonna complain considering I know we're gonna get down to like 30 grams of oats, no berries. I'm gonna be hungry all the time. I'm excited to diet. I'm excited to diet. I haven't been shredded in over 5 years. Plus the last 6 or 7 weeks, we've like been trying to get my body as healthy as possible. Backed off all the PEDs and getting my body ready for next week, which is 12 weeks out when we start implementing more of those things back in. I am gonna miss my sourdough toast in the morning. That was my favorite thing to eat. Sourdough toast, a little margarine on it. That was a treat every single morning. Now these are gonna be the treat every single morning. And then 1 week during this prep, we will no longer have whole eggs. It'll be a sad day.
Only for a week?
No, I'm saying at some point, there will be a week this prep that we cut these out. And it'll be a sad bodybuilder, but a very happy chicken. Get it? Because the chicken, they're already dead, right? They can't come back. Like if I were to sit on this, it wouldn't hatch, would it? I don't drink coffee when I'm not prepping like this. Like, whenever I start my cut, I always gravitate towards coffee. I think it's because you get so limited on your options when you're dieting down. It's just nice to have something else. Feels like a much smaller breakfast than I'm used to.
We need to take the picture of you sitting there compared to
the first breakfast, yeah. Meal one, you guys, is 10 ounces of egg whites, 2 whole eggs, 70 grams of oats measured dry, 100 grams of strawberries, a little bit of green Tabasco. A little bit smaller breakfast than I'm used to, but it's gonna be easier for me to eat throughout the day because I know I'll be hungry. There's a process to this whole thing of where I need to be at certain points during my prep. And I wanna start my prep a little bit heavier, a little more body fat on me, eating more food. That way I'm able to coast through my prep, keeping my energy up, and get lean when I need to get lean. Because when you get to a certain level of body fat, it can be taxing on your body. It's also gonna be hard to grow when you're that lean. You're gonna get fatigued out a lot quicker. You don't have as much energy on your body. It's also a lot easier to lose muscle when your body fat is really low because your body doesn't have any reserves to pull from. So if you are in a deficit and you aren't managing your food as perfectly as you can, or you go too far into a deficit, you're gonna start sacrificing muscle. So for me, I'm trying to stay as big as possible during these preps. So I wanna try to keep that deficit as small as possible while I lean down. That way I hold on to more mass. A good analogy is like in the Fast and the Furious movie when Paul Walker and Vin Diesel are drag racing and Paul Walker hits the NOS a little early and Vin Diesel's like, oh, what's he say? Too soon, pal, or too soon something. And that's kind of like the way I think when I'm looking at these guys on prep is like they're getting super shredded early and I know that they're gonna be ready early and they gotta hold it for an extended period of time. And that's gonna be really taxing on their body and their body can actually start fading after a certain while. So timing your peak and timing your conditioning is really important when making sure that you're gonna look your absolute best on a certain day. Where my conditioning is at now compared to some of the other guys you might see on Instagram that are looking super shredded. You know, it can play tricks on people's minds or make people think that they're better or whatnot, but ultimately it doesn't matter until the day of the show. So I'm gonna take my time in getting lean. I'm gonna hold on to as much muscle as possible. And when, you know, we're 6 weeks out, 4 weeks out, you guys are gonna start seeing my body evolve a lot more where I'm getting that crispy conditioning and then, you know, I'm gonna feel good that last month and bring in probably the best package you guys have ever seen from me. Nice, crisp, full, and you know, it's gonna be a package that's gonna be very competitive for that title again. You know, I have a lot of experience underneath my belt. I have a good coach in my corner and, you know, I have a lot of confidence in what we're doing. Come here. Oh, you look cute. Come give me a hug. Are you slow motion? Come here. Come here. You a zombie? Good morning. Can you say good morning? No. You look cute. I like your ponytail. She's not even 2.5 yet. She's turns 2.5. Actually, next month she's 2.5. Next month. She's not a baby anymore. She looks like a little kid. Oh, you're still a baby? All right, I'm gonna go to therapy. Soft tissue therapy. Let's work on the right side today because I've been noticing, remember we dug into it last time, it was super sensitive. Because we've been working on the left like every time because that's the side that all my nerve pain is on. Yeah. But I've noticed like I was doing back a couple days ago and my strength on my right side is way less. And I'm also noticed when I was pulling, like my shoulders aren't even when I'm pulling. And then another thing when I'm doing lateral raises, I'm feeling it, like I can't bring my shoulder up because something's pulling in here. Like I feel like it stops. Same thing when I'm doing my rows. I feel like right where my tricep inserts right back into here, that lights up. So whenever I'm doing a pull, I don't feel like my lat is engaged because I feel like it's stopping, something stops here and it pinches right in through here, and then it leads into my tricep. So whenever I'm pulling my tricep, like I get a nerve pain down through my tricep and all this back here lights up.
How often do you come here?
I come to see Troy twice a week. We've been getting 3 times a weekend recently. I've been seeing Troy consistently for over 2 years now. He's done a good job helping me stay in the gym and feel as best as I can, given the injuries that I have. There's not really any fixing the injuries I have right now. So it's just a matter of getting some relief and training through them. I just feel like someone taking my spine. There. Oh. You won't see this side. This shit. This is an awful. That's a painful spot. This is what I've been feeling when I train back. That's the spot that lights up. It's hard to get my lats to fire because I feel like it sticks at this point. This is subscap. This is most painful spots. That's definitely an issue. I feel if we get this open up, it takes a lot of problems for me. Career versus working. So what do you do right there? Upright row. Oh! Yeah. Ah. Thank you. First. That was an intense session. I really needed that. The past few weeks, I've been feeling like super jammed up in my shoulders. My lat's been locked up. He really opened up a lot today. That's probably one of the most painful sessions I've had in a long time, but honestly, I feel a lot more open right now, so hopefully that'll help my training this coming week, especially with my trip going to LA later on this week. I'm training with the VQ team, Breon Ainsley, Jeff Sidak, who's actually gonna be training with us, and then CJ Kim, who just turned pro at USA's 2 weeks ago. We're all gonna be shooting together. And I was a little worried about doing the training session because I haven't been able to train very efficiently lately because of all the limitations I've had with the injuries. But after that session, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm starving right now. So it's been about 2 hours since I ate. We're gonna head home, get my second meal in, let that digest, and we're gonna go to the gym. I'm actually gonna do legs today. I've backed off my leg training a lot the last 3 months. I've only done probably 3 leg days in the past like 10 weeks. So we're gonna head to the gym after we eat, get some blood in the legs. Shouldn't be too long a workout today. Did you paint?
Yes, I did.
Where's your picture?
Yes,
Can you go get it?
I'll be there.
Where is it? Go show me. Move, Henny. I thought you were gonna show me your painting. You got a balloon? Meals look a lot smaller nowadays. We are 88 days out from Olympia, just under 13 weeks out. By the time this video is released to you guys, I'll probably be 12 weeks out. But got my therapy in this morning, taking care of my physique and trying to stay as healthy as possible during this prep is one of my major focuses. You guys know I got a bunch of issues I've been dealing with the last several years, and going into this prep, I knew I was going to have to handle these injuries and just deal with them and fight through the pain. And that's what I've been doing so far. I know these injuries aren't going away, so I just gotta man up, do what I can to take the best care of the muscles that I can, the best care of my body, and try to train as efficiently as possible and as smart as possible. That way I don't get myself any further hurt along prep. So going and seeing Troy this morning really helped open up my lats, helped me open up my lower back. Come in here to Iron Addiction out here in Roseville, training with JC. It's the first time I trained at this location of Iron Addiction. They got some good leg equipment in here. I haven't trained legs hard in probably, gosh, we're going on like 4 months now. When I was in Turkey back in April, I mentioned that I hurt my adductor, my right adductor, doing a really heavy single leg press. I don't know if I tore it. All I know is it put me out for several weeks, several months from training legs. And then when I went out to Pittsburgh a few weeks ago, Tyler Mannion, the vice president of the NPC, IFBB, told me I need to back off my leg training to bring more of a men's physique look. He says my legs are pretty big, makes you look a little bit more like a bodybuilder. So, especially the new weight requirements that are coming out next year, I gotta make sure I make weight, and I do carry a lot of weight in my lower body. So bringing the leg training back will enable me to lighten myself up on the lower half and also allow me to pack on more size up top so I can still fit within that weight requirement. With that being said, I like training legs. When I train legs, I feel better all over. So the past few months, I haven't really had my legs underneath me, and I don't feel as stable. You know, my hips, my glutes, my core, all those things I feel are kind of gotten a little weaker because I haven't been able to train my lower body. And it's kind of impacted some of my other exercises like bent over rows and other back exercises. So, you know, the last 2 weeks I've been getting myself back in the gym, just trying to get some blood flow into the muscles, keeping them active, keeping them awake. I think that's gonna be a really important part. The remainder of this prep is just to make sure that I'm still training every muscle group, but I just gotta make sure that I'm backing off the weight and intensity so I'm not, you know, forcing a bunch of hypertrophy in those muscles or putting myself at risk for injury. Other than that, you guys, I'm extremely motivated. You know, I've been back on regimen probably the last 8, 9, 10 weeks of eating good and training. And it's been a lot of food. I've been trying to boost my metabolism up, so I've been eating and eating and eating. And it's been pretty exhausting. So now that we're officially starting prep, officially starting that shred, I'm in a really good spot right now with where my body's at with my metabolism, my size, my body fat, all those things, because as I scale down, I'm gonna be able to do it in a way that I'm gonna be able to keep my body full, I'm gonna be able to keep my size, and I'm gonna be able to stay feeling good. I'm not gonna be eating too large of a deficit to try to come down because I've got my metabolism healthy and in good shape. So I'm really looking forward to the next 13 weeks. I haven't shredded, haven't been stage ready shape in 5 years, and I'm anxious. You know, I'm anxious to see what I built underneath the low of this body fat, to see, you you know, the physique that we're bringing to the stage. It's gonna be something special. It's something I've been working hard at. You know, it's been a long journey back to this point, and, you know, standing here after the last 5 years, getting ready to get back on Olympia stage, it means the world to me. And I know it's important to a lot of my fans too, seeing the support I've had the last several months and everybody coming back around to encourage me, and it means a lot, seeing how I'm inspiring other people to get back on their grind too. So I'm just gonna continue to do my best, continue to show you guys that change is possible, and to continue showing you guys that we are capable of more. So I love you guys, appreciate you. I'm actually taking off to LA in 2 days to go shoot for VQ, but I'll be back next week and we'll get another video out for you.